Hey everyone, Eric Hayden here in the garden. Wanted to give you a quick look at what the roses look like in mid-October, really the first 10 days of October. Black spot still has gotten a little bit away from me with my travel the last 2 months, but the blooms are looking good. And you'll find, no matter where you live, it tends to be the best time of year for rose blooms would be the spring and fall because of the cooler weather at night. This is Claire Elise, a relatively newer exhibition rose, beautiful foliage, really beautiful flowers. This was hybridized by John Smith, same person that hybridized Randy Scott. So really nice foliage and also bloom on that. Another rose that's growing well, especially in terms of blooms in the garden, this is Let Freedom Ring, a nice red rose. Prefer Veterans Honor with that. It is definitely a little smaller in terms of vigorous growth than Veterans Honor, but still Let Freedom Ring is a nice rose that you can get in terms of commercial buying. Another one that you can get that I highlight a lot, I try to highlight the roses that everybody can have access to. I know Palatine Roses has Gemini this year, and a lot of folks do as well. This is Gemini. Bloom after bloom looks like that. I haven't done anything in the garden in terms of covering or pampering those blooms, so that's what it looks like repeatedly over and over again, and it opens up into a nice flower. Very nice. While the black spot has gotten away from me a little bit, the roses are growing exceptionally well. This is over almost 9 feet tall, this Hot Princess. This again does better probably as a spring bloomer, but now that we've had some cooler weather, we've gotten some really nice blooms on this. This is all opened up now, so they don't have the classic hybrid tea form, but they did about a week or so ago. Really vibrant pink. That's a little harder to get. For some of these harder to get roses, recommend Wisconsin Roses, Steve Singer. The website is wiroses.com. Things like Claire Elise and Hot Princess, ones that are not as commercially available, you can certainly get those. Check out this one. Doesn't it look like Gemini? And that's because one of the parents of Crescendo, which is this rose, is Gemini. That is one that you can get commercially available. Places like Palatine Roses, K&M, a lot of folks have that. So your Geminis, this one, Crescendo, Moonstone, Veterans Honor, Let Freedom Ring, those are a little bit easier to get. Ones like a Randy Scott or Hot Princess, some of those are a little bit more difficult to find. Check out Wisconsin Roses. Steve does an excellent job up there. Speaking of that, this is Zach Noble's. This is Sport of Let Freedom Ring. Steve does his budding in the late summer and fall, so he's in the process of updating his list now. If he doesn't have what you want, next year send him an email during the summer and he'll do custom budding as well. This is Jewel Grace. This is one that I got from him many years ago. One of the roses that I actually brought down from New York because the person that was going to pick it up wasn't able to. So I got lucky and I kept one rose, and that is just beautiful. And again, my garden, kind of a disaster with regards to black spot and disease, but the growth, and it just goes to show you, if the weather is right, cooler nights, not a ton of rainfall, things that mess up blooms, you can have nice blooms not doing anything. And this caught my guard. You can see some of the pink spots because of the rain or dewdrops, but that's a nice open bloom of crystalline. I'm going to show you one more and then I'm going to wrap things up. Just wanted to give a brief garden tour. Those are some of the wildflowers that are doing well. The butterflies like them, cosmos and zinnias, and one of those taller marigolds in the back. The last couple I'm going to show you is over here in the fragrance garden. This is a nice one. Secret has very nice form, so it does have exhibition form, and it blooms in clusters. You can see all the blooms on this, but really nice. See, bloom after bloom has nice form, has a nice light fragrance to it. This is the second year I've grown this. I got this on Dr. Huey from Witherspoon Roses in North Carolina. But Secret's another one that's fairly easy to find. Another good fragrant one that has good form. This is Pope John Paul II. Been really impressed with Pope John Paul. So if you want something with form and fragrance, I would recommend that. My all-time favorite, Mr. Lincoln. Again, the biggest downside is the blooms go from pointed and closed to open really quickly. But man, those reds are just outstanding. And I just wish these videos you could smell, because the fragrance is the best thing about Fenner's Mr. Lincoln. It's probably one of my top 3 all-time favorite roses. It's just a good growing rose. You can see of all the good growing roses in the garden,